Zohran Mamdani, the 34-year-old lawmaker who transformed himself into a voice for oppressed New Yorkers, was elected the city's mayor.
I want to speak to the Muslim who works for our city.
In the process, he became the first Muslim and first Indian-American mayor in the world's richest city. He also happens to be the youngest mayor of New York in over 100 years. His victory completed one of the most remarkable political upsets in New York history and will soon put a democratic socialist in the seat of power in the world's most capitalist city. Mamdani defeated former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, in a rematch of June's Democratic primary. New Yorkers soundly rejected the establishment candidate that was Cuomo, a man who was once the most powerful figure in the state, and instead they chose the anti-establishment Mamdani. Curtis Sliwa, who was the Republican, was a distant third place. In a victory speech in Brooklyn, Mamdani told his supporters that they had toppled a political dynasty and empowered the hard-working chefs and waiters and delivery boys and taxi drivers of New York. He also had a loud and clear message for President Donald Trump.
Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Turnout went past 2 million voters, which is the highest level of voter turnout in New York City since the city's municipal elections back in 1969. A state assemblyman from Queens, Mamdani had entered the contest just about a year ago as a little more than a protest candidate. He had a very thin resume and also virtually no experience in governance whatsoever. But his intense focus on affordability, whether it is for groceries or for housing, his mastery of social media, and his relentless optimism about New York galvanized record turnout amongst young voters as well as immigrant voters. Born in Uganda to parents of Indian descent, his father is a renowned professor, Mahmood Mamdani, and his mother is the famous filmmaker Meera Nair. Mamdani will also be the first naturalized immigrant to serve as mayor of New York since Abraham Bean in the 1970s. Mamdani has called for raising taxes on the wealthy, promised free bus rides and free childcare, a rent freeze on apartments, and overhauling the police department. But he's also an equally polarizing figure with his stridently anti-Israel views. He's been an ardent supporter of the Free Palestine movement and a ruthless critic of Israel, especially of its current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his war in Gaza. He has called Netanyahu a war criminal and has promised that he will arrest Netanyahu if he lands up in New York. Many Jewish citizens of New York and business leaders deeply mistrust Mamdani. In fact, many business leaders have said that they will exit New York if Mamdani became mayor. But this fight was also a fight between Mamdani and Donald Trump. Trump has called Mamdani a communist and an extremist. His supporters have called him a jihadi. Trump even threatened to withhold funds to New York City if it elected Mamdani. He even gave a very late endorsement to Andrew Cuomo, the other contestant in the race, but even that was not able to stop the Mamdani surge. Trump has even threatened to send National Guard troops to New York, just like he's done with other major Democrat cities like Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and Chicago.
We have a communist who's 33 years old, doesn't know a damn thing. Practically, he's never worked a day in his life. And he sort of caught on, right? And I'm not going to send a lot of money to New York. I don't have to.
Overall, it was a bad night for Trump and the Republicans. The Democrats got big wins. They won the governor's races in New Jersey and in Virginia. These are all admittedly Democrat-leaning states, but it gives a sense of the mood of the nation. It was the first major election after Trump returned to office 9 months ago. The message from America to Trump is clear. We don't like what you're doing, and we need you to course correct. There are 2 major issues which seem to have done the Republicans in: rising prices and immigration. And these are the same issues, by the way, which Trump promised to fix and had played a large part in his election victory that happened last year. But almost a year into office, Americans in these states are telling Trump he's not living up to his promises. Prices of essential groceries, especially eggs and beef and vegetables and other food items, have not come down substantially. Neither have costs of home ownership or home rentals. On the immigration story, Trump promised to throw out all the illegals, but his forced deportations using ICE agents and sending National Guard troops inside factories and residential quarters in major cities, that seems to have spooked even legal immigrants in many of these states. As analysts have noted, Tuesday night was a rebuke or a repudiation of Trump's policies in the last 9 months of his second term. Trump, though, says this is not a reflection on him, as he was not on the ballot Tuesday night.
You know, you expect a party to win places where they have a plurality or a majority of the electorate when the other party's in control of the White House, but not by this margin. So there's a tremendous signal here for Republicans. They won't get it unless Donald Trump gives them permission to get it. And look, there are lots of reasons for it, affordability and all the other issues they were discussing, but the number one, number two, and number three reason, Donald J. Trump. In the last 9 months, Trump has done more controversial, some would say outrageous things than any president in American history, including Donald Trump 1.0. This has a cumulative effect.
With their election triumphs on Tuesday, the Democrats have showed that their demoralized party can still accomplish big wins. The decisive victories for governor in Virginia and New Jersey, and the mayor of New York, and a major ballot initiative in California showed crucial signs of life for the Democrats. Just a year ago, they were battered in all 7 presidential battleground states. They lost control of the Senate and they failed to win the House of Representatives. Next year, there's going to be midterm elections, which will give the Democrats a chance to reverse this. As for Trump, he could come away with the Tuesday results and pivot more to the center. He could mellow down his unilateral style of functioning and try to be more of a unifying figure both within his party and across America. Or he could do the exact opposite and gravitate even further extreme towards his unhinged style of functioning and push America further into polarization between the Democrats and the Republicans. He's already bailed by saying that he was not on the ballot, so therefore the results are not a reflection on his presidency. Americans, though, are hoping that their president will learn the right lessons from election night and learn them quickly.
Fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.